Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday. And if you're seeing this for the first time, get ready. Over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours, I will be doing rather comprehensive recaps and reviews of the recently finished Heritage Fun auction sale, which took place from the 9th to today. Today is the last day for this. There's actually a few more days, but that comprises of currency, so that'll go on for another day or so. But I wanted to talk about some of the current trending coins, the top featured coins of the sale, and we're going to start off with the top 10 Lincoln cent coins that sold through this auction. And what I'm going to do for each corresponding video, I'm going to go by denomination, and I'm going to highlight like the top, either the top 5 or the top 10 of the most current iteration of each denomination. For example, we're also going to show a top 10 Jefferson nickel video and a top 10 Roosevelt dime and Washington quarter and Kennedy half dollar video, which is how I prefer to do it because it keeps everyone in the loop with some of the most widely collectible coin series today. All right, as opposed to doing one with like seated Liberty material and braided hair large cents and colonials. That'll be my final video. I'll probably do like a top 20 or top 25 overall video for all of the various different types of series, whether, regardless of age. So that's something to keep in mind, and something you'll be sure to want to check out. So stay tuned for those. Again, next day or two, I'll be pumping these through for your consideration. So let's go ahead and take a look at the top 10 Lincoln pennies, the bunch. And we're going to start off at number 10 here with the 1922 plain no mint mark Lincoln cent. This one, of course, is the strong reverse. For those of you that aren't familiar with this coin, okay, this is one of the chase pieces when it comes to assembling a full set of Lincoln cents, whether it's a raw set, one that you put like in an album, or one that you prefer to do graded or as a registry. This is one of the coins that everybody looks for, okay? And a little interesting fact about this coin, there are 4 different types of die pairings, so to speak. So this one right here is the one that everybody looks for, okay, because it's got the strongly struck reverse, as you can tell. The weakly struck ones aren't nearly as coveted, but they're still very popular. They're not worth as much, so some people will gravitate toward that coin from a bargain perspective. Okay, so just to let you guys know, there is no 1922 Lincoln cent that was ever produced in Philadelphia for this year. So why is there an omitted mint mark on this coin? Well, as you can tell from the obverse, this one has a very weakly struck look. Okay, it looks very mushy, especially in God We Trust and Liberty. So that kind of, I don't know, sheds a little light on what exactly happened with this coin, as it was a Denver minted only example. So, they've reworked the dies quite a bit of times. They didn't produce a whole lot of coins for this particular date. And it was just simply either an over polishing of the die, or they just never repunched that mint mark so that way it's stronger. So that's why you have a no mint mark variety 1922D, which, in turn they call it plain. So this one sold for $42,000. I thought maybe I should probably say the dollar valuation at the beginning of each listing. It's also interesting to know that this one graded PCGS Mint State 64 red brown, and this one has a PCGS price guide value of $75,000. Okay, so why the big discrepancy for this grade between what it sold for, $42,000, and what the going price guide value is on their website? Well, you kind of have to take a look at the coin market in general. It's not recovered to the point of like 2009, 2010, where everything was selling for a lot of money. It's still in recovery mode, and the economy hasn't quite dipped down far enough for it to be a full-blown recession. Okay, we're not even remotely close to being to that point yet. And in addition, the coin itself is okay in terms of a high dollar coin. It's not going to blow your mind off. There's carbon spots on the obverse. There's a couple notable hits on Lincoln's cheek beard area underneath the earlobe, which is particularly distracting. So, those are things that I personally would look for in a condition sensitivity type of coin like this. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the number 9 coin. This is an absolutely beautiful 1915D Lincoln Cent. This one was graded PCGS Mint State 67 red. It's a fine example indeed. This one sold for $43,200, and this one has a PCGS price guide of $60,000. A truly remarkable coin, and you're going to see an ongoing trend here on this list regarding coins sold that were in the teens. Okay, there's a lot of them actually on this list, but I'm not at all surprised. So again, just like the 22 plane, the reason why there's a pretty big discrepancy between the price guide value and what the actual real world auction value through Heritage was, it's just the time of the year and the economy when it comes to the coin market. The time of the year, we just pass the holidays. Generally, it doesn't come out of the gate swinging too much. Usually by around February and March, when people get income tax money back in, they spend more for these coins. So anyways, a really nice example nonetheless, and that was the number 9 coin. The number 8 coin is one of the penultimate key dates in the Lincoln Cent series, and this one is the 1914D Lincoln Penny. Okay, this one graded out PCGS Mint State 66 red, pretty nice grade. This one sold for $44,400 with a PCGS price guide value of $75K. Again, same narrative. It's just it's worth $44,000, not the $75 that PCGS puts on it. Now, with all these coins that have sold under the PCGS price guide value, you expect to see some sort of correction. Okay, right now, probably the best time to buy these high-end coins, but in 5 years, probably not so much, because these things are going to go back up in value into the stratosphere. So the people that have this kind of money to buy these coins and just sit on them for 5 to 10 years will probably be well rewarded by then. Otherwise, this is a really striking example. All right, and then up next at our number 7 coin, we have a 1918D Lincoln Cent. This one is PCGS Mint State 67 red. Again, another phenomenal teen era coin. This one sold for $45,600 with a price guide value of $50,000. Not too far off. Again, this is one of those really tough 19 teens dated coins. As you could tell, it is full red. It's a beautiful coin. And what I love about these teens dated coins is that they're so well struck. You could actually see the beard detail, Lincoln's head, his hair, and a bunch of other areas where there's a lot of high detail. The Mint really did a good job maintaining the dies during this time period. So, an absolutely phenomenal coin. Again, it's just under PCGS's market price guide value, and I don't anticipate it staying there that long. So that's our number 7 coin. Coming up at number 6 was a coin that I had highlighted in a previous video, and that's the 1969S Lincoln Cent with the double die obverse. Okay, this is everyone's favorite cherry pickers type coin right here, and one of the top varieties that you could find in pocket change today. This one graded out at a very pedestrian PCGS Mint State 63 brown, and of course it's got some pretty interesting toning. I can't say I'm a huge fan. It's not what I would consider to be, the most realistic of toning patterns for this type of coin, especially in mint state. With the toning, it kind of makes me believe that this is more of an AU coin, but it really depends on the atmospheric conditions of where this coin was stored since its discovery. But in any event, this coin sold for a cool $48,000, and it has a PCGS price guide of $62,500. This is a pretty nice example. So coming up at our number 5 coin, we're halfway through the list here for you guys. We have a 1909 VDB. This is actually a matte proof coin right here. It's the only proof example on our list of the top 10. And this is a PCGS Proof 65 Red. It's a phenomenal looking coin. This one sold for $50,400, and it's got a PCGS price guide value of $47,500. So this one sold over the PCGS price guide value, and this is actually an ongoing trend that's been kind of hot in the last, probably 2-3 years. Some of these early pre-1920s proof coins have been hitting the market really hard, and people want them because not only are they low mintage, but they certainly look a lot more eye pleasing. It's in terms of Lincoln cents, they're better eye candy than other dates around it. So this one sold, for all the money in the world, and I could see this one appreciating a lot more. It's the only coin on the list, believe it or not, that has exceeded the PCGS price guide value. So coming in at the number 4 slot, we got the 1916D Lincoln cent. This one graded out PCGS Mint State 67 Red. This one sold for $50,400. So this is tied for 4th with the matte proof 1909 VDB. This one has a price guide value of $65,000. Again, this is a truly remarkable looking coin, and it's very convincing of a coin that has truly got all of the meat to make it worth a lot of money. Full red, full strike. This is a beauty of a coin. And you know what? People are going to be looking for these types of earlier dated Lincoln cents of this caliber. This is a remarkable coin right here. So for the number 3 slot, we got the 1909S VDB. This is, again, the perennial key date in the series as well. This one graded out PCGS Mint State 67 Red, and this one sold for $55,200. However, it's got a PCGS price guide of $72,500. So quite a bit less. It's like almost $17,000 difference between the price guide value and what it actually sold for. But this is the one everybody loves. So, it did bring in all the money. I think right now this is a tremendous bargain, because it is a key date. It's the coin that everybody loves. And, I could see this one, gaining about 50% in value over the next 5 to 10 years. It's not without it's not outside of the realm of possibility on this one. All right, so we're coming into the last 2 coins here. Okay, and the number 2 slot, this one's going to surprise you. This is a 1926S Lincoln cent. Okay, it's the kind of like that mid-20s semi-key dated coin that's really not all that expensive to find in circulated grades. This one was graded PCGS Mint State 65 Red. This one sold for $90,000. That's 90 with some extra zeros at the end. It's got a PCGS price guide of $115,000. So let me explain this one to you as best as I can. So it's a Mint State 65 Red, which is kind of like that medium type of grade. But what if I told you that this grade was like top of the line for this particular date? Okay, and it's within good reason. Let me explain even further. So coins of the 1920s are, let's see, probably 10 times more rare in full red mint state compared to its 1910s cousins. Okay, and these coins were very well circulated. They have a lower survival rate at those higher grades than coins from the teens. And this one right here, in spite of its actually this one's a red brown, not a red. I'm sorry. So in spite of its grade, no, it is a red. Sorry. Uh, the label on the image is a little bit smaller than some of the others, but this one again, a middle mid state grade, truly tough decade for full red coins. Okay, and this is just a testament. There are more of these out there to be found. They just need to be graded, and you could hit some serious home runs. Usually with the San Francisco minted coins, this is where you're going to find some of those high dollar rarities. And collectors rather, always seem to have a really difficult time locating full red specimens of any of these branch mint type coins, whether it's a Denver or a San Francisco. They're just extremely difficult to find in full red. So yeah, it's worth every bit of the 90 grand, and this coin will be worth well over 100,000 in the next 5 to 10 years. And then finally, the number one coin, and probably the most talked about coin in the last month or two, is the 1943 bronze alloy transitional Lincoln Cent. Okay, this is the Don Lutz Jr. example. This is the one that I did a quick expose on a few days ago. And this is the coin that Fox News dubbed could be worth as much as $1.7 million. Little did they know that $1.7 million coin was the Denver minted example, which at that time was only one known, exponentially more rare and more expensive to own. So that was a bad kind of comparison. But in any event, for a discovery piece, this is the one that he found in 1947 as a result of receiving change back, buying lunch in school as a teenager, sold for $204,000. Again, just a recap on the grade, this is an NGC AU53. So there's really not a whole lot more to say about this coin. Again, it's an iconic U.S. Mint mishap, above all else. But more importantly, this is going to be a coin that's going to solidify its status as being one of the most sought after and the most expensive of Lincoln cents. Not to say that a 1926S in Mint State 67 will ever pop up, because that could take the crown over this coin. But yeah, bunch of great coins highlighted. Again, everything is wildly expensive, but also drastically, wildly underpriced. So what did we learn from this auction? Well, we learned a few things. The actual value of what people pay is drastically different from price guide value, which, you know what, I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Price guide value, whether it's printed or typed out online, means absolutely nothing. It's the propensity of what people are willing to shell out for the coin, okay? For example, the 1922 plane, which was like $33,000 off from what it actually realized at this Heritage Fund compared to the price guide value, is no coincidence. So, people saw it, they see its problems and its warts, and they adjust the bidding accordingly. Okay, now who's to blame in all of this? Is it PCGS? Probably not, because they take data over the course of X amount of years and they compiled up a rolling average of the coin. But it could very well be the grader's fault in all of this. Did they overgrade this thing? If this is something that an individual cracks out and resubmits, is it actually going to be a grade point lower, or maybe 2 points, because of the hits and stuff that's on there? It's really kind of hard to say. But keep in mind, this also tells us, the auction results rather, that the coin market is still toward the bottom. Okay, it was even more in the bottom last summer, but there was a lot of bargains and buying opportunities here at work, and it does kind of correlate into the middle grades. some of those lower mid-state, type pieces that you and I can buy and find for between $500 and $2,500 in the market, they're all going to go up in unison. So there's going to be all sorts of parallels when the coin market recovers, and that's usually when the next recession happens, because investors are looking at places to park money. So they're going to pay insane amounts of money for these, high-grade gems that you see today. But that's going to wrap it up for the first part here. Again, this is the top 10 Lincoln Cent sales of the Heritage Fund auction sale. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If I talk too much, just slap me up upside my head and tell me, enough's enough. Again, the best way you can support my channel is just simply hit the like button or subscribe to my channel. Heck, do both. I'll take full responsibility if you enjoy yourself during the duration of my rants. But in any event, love you guys. Thank you for joining and supporting me. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the Jefferson Nichols recap. Take care.